Hey, welcome. You're most likely here because you think that your pump has stopped working. Now, how do you know that? Well, if the Orchid watering system has attempted to start its usual watering cycle, or for instance you launch it manually by holding the button down for 6 seconds, the LED on the board should start flashing and the water coming up, until it reaches the water sensor, then repeat the cycle for a short while. However, if the pump is not working, then of course no water will be reaching the sensor, which is when the system will identify that something is wrong and will periodically beep. So the beeping can arise if there's not enough water at the bottom of the reservoir, so it won't reach the sensor. But assuming that you have just tried to launch the cycle and no water is coming up at all, then it's either a case of a dead battery, although if watered every once a week it should last for 2 years, so you'd probably know if it is, or it could be that the pump isn't pumping. And the reason for the latter is that there's most likely a debris inside the pump that escaped the Orchid medium. So finally, let's see how to fix it. You want to remove the plant from the system and take out the lid. Pour out the water, then you can see the pump at the bottom that brings the water up through the white silicone tube. Disconnect the silicone tube from the pump, make sure that the pump is disconnected from the electronics as well. And then finally, remove the pump with the cable. So here it is. So you can see on the side there's 4 Phillips screws that you need to take out. So get a screwdriver that fits and screw them out. Remove the side plate. Now you can see the pump propeller itself, and would you look at that, there's a small stone preventing the propeller from spinning. I have had cases where the debris is not necessarily visible, so you can just give it a good shake, and I would recommend blowing through the exhaust tip on top just to make sure. Now I like to quickly test it out before putting the pump back in. Now it might not be a great idea to do so, best to test the pump underwater, but a quick test won't kill it. So connect the electronics box to the pump, hold the button down for 6 seconds. Often after an error it will keep beeping a few more times, but you have to wait for all the noises to stop and then count 6 flashes from that moment. And as soon as the pump makes a noise, which it should hopefully do, disconnect it. And there we go. We know that the pump is working, so can now assemble everything back together. Double check that the silicone tube is also inserted all the way into the top section of the system, since sometimes it may get dislodged while removing the pump. Now fill the system up with water and test the pump again. Brilliant, everything's working. Now put the lid and the Orchid back in and you can go back to enjoying your carefree Orchid experience. Thank you for watching.